Wait, these aren't whites. They're Italians.
I'm a little tired today. I spent too much time being a mole person. I was under my house. Fucking my water was off because our well got flooded and the sump pump decided to give out. And then because the sump pump gave out, my fucking water, my well fucking shut-off valve shut off. So I've been underground most of this morning. And
Joe the plumber.
I'm not a plumber. I went on YouTube and I figured it out.
Isn't that like a Republican, like... You don't remember that?
I remember Tokyo Joe from EHT. The guy's not Asian, so that doesn't... Just some, like, Dago.
Really? I always thought he was, like, a Japanese dude.
I think he might be, like, half Japanese or something, but his name is Tokyo Joe, and his last name is, like, Palmateri or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've seen the signs.
Yeah.
No, Joe the plumber was, like, this conservative, like, rallying... Not cry, but, like, this character that...
Larry the Cable
I want to say, like, 08... 04 in that era. Okay. Maybe a little later, maybe 12, somewhere in there. He was just someone that was rooting for Bush or whoever, Mitt Romney, someone. And then he ended up, he was a local plumber. He had some whole spiel on Fox News. He's like, you gotta stick up for the little guy or something to that effect. And he became like this famous conservative character. And then he ended up running for Senate or something. Let me look that up, Jamie. But it was
interesting.
He was like not a big deal, but he had like a little 15 minutes of fame in the conservative spotlight there, and I want to say like 10, 15 years ago, somewhere around there.
Good. Good for
I
Joe.
think he won an election.
I mean, any Joe that wins an election that's not Biden, I'm pretty happy. I was pretty smitten that there was a Vice President Joe until like they put him on Parks and Rec, and I realized like, oh, this guy's a blithering idiot. That was
His
another.
name's Samuel.
Samuel
J. Wurzelbacher.
And he goes by Joe the Plumber.
Damn, he died.
From what?
What the fuck?
Plumbing.
Born in Toledo, died in Campbellsport, Wisconsin.
Tell me it was
August of 2023. I didn't know that.
From like a urinary tract infection or something plumbing related.
Samuel Joseph Wurzelbacher, also known as Joe the Plumber, was an American conservative activist and commentator. He gained national attention during the 2008 U.S. presidential campaign season when, during a videotaped campaign stop by Democratic nominee Barack Obama, Wurzelbacher raised concerns that Obama's tax policy would increase taxes on small business owners. Wurzelbacher was a member of the Republican Party. It was some viral thing where he was like, this damn Obama gonna raise my taxes, I'm just a plumber. And he became like
Obama
famous.
President now.
So he was a political activist, businessman, and plumber's assistant. I just want to see how he died. How did Joe the plumber die?
Septic leak.
That took me a second. He was young. He was only born in like 72 or something like that.
Jeez.
He died at 49.
They took him out. Obama he was one of the Hillary Clintons. The kill list. He knew too much.
There's no, it's just like articles like Joe the plumber thrust in the spotlight.
He's fixing the toilet at Epstein Island. He's just got to make sure all the fucking kids get flushed.
The Joe the Plumber podcast. This is what he looks like for context. It's just some like.
He looks like what's his name?
I think he's a Soros plant with that last name.
Probably.
Wurzelbacher.
Most likely. He looks like Hank from Breaking Bad, the DEA agent.
Kind of like a young, handsome Hank.
The guy that's the other writer on 30. You never watched 30 Rock. That's a girlfriend show.
Damn. Last year, Wurzelbacher was diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer following 3 months of stomach issues, or following a few months of stomach issues.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I get stomach issues and I freak out about that shit. Apparently, leaky butthole means colon cancer.
Yeah, it's a bad sign.
I have a horrible leaky. I have like a fucking blown fucking head gasket down there. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm like Ryan Dunn. You ever hear about Dunn's minging asshole, where he would periodically wipe throughout the day having not shit, and it looked like he took a shit? Mm-hmm. That's been me.
Yeah. I actually have a friend like that that's still alive.
I guess I'll just wreck my Porsche and not deal with
get a Porsche.
colon cancer.
Just get one, dude. Come on, fucking
First
send
step,
it.
dude. You gotta
get the Porsche. Said step 2, get back off the wagon.
Don't talk about it. Be about it, dude.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
First
Wrap
step, buy a Porsche.
It is kind of a cool move. That is a pimp. You were talking so much shit, like in the, I think it was episode 32 or whatever. I was like, I think I want a Porsche, and you were like, grow up.
You're my second friend that said that. I have a good buddy that he didn't even want to get like fucking interviewing your dick. He's scratching your fucking crevice. Fucking mic. Oh, you're gonna give me that mic next week. Wrong one.
Fair enough.
Nah, but he was doing like the white trash move where he was like, dude, you can get like an 09 Porsche for like under 20K. Or was that you?
That was me.
No, my buddy Dom was saying the same thing.
I mean,
He was like looking at like, mid-range, like cheap, like marketplace Porsches, and I was just like, why would you do that? Like the repairs and stuff on that alone.
This was a move where I got the idea in my head because during pandemic, like when everybody was just getting stimulus checks, I was like, that doesn't seem like a depreciating asset if I just put money into it.
1,000% is.
If I put money into it and then just fix it up and resell it, like not having it as like my everyday driver or whatever, just have it as like something to tinker with, I can't really do more damage than something that's already like not drivable as
You
is.
also can't ride a 90cc pit bike. What makes you think you can handle a fucking Porsche?
I mean,
I know you can drive.
I can drive perfectly fine, thank you.
I just see you going down the road doing like 60.
I like how there's this like misnomer that I'm somehow like grandma, like I drive slow. Like I get speeding tickets all the fucking time. Yes, I did.
When's the last time you got a speeding ticket?
Pulling out of Avalon last summer, I took
fucking break. Avalon doesn't count. Those cops are dickheads, dude. They'll write you for fucking 3 over.
Thank you, Sykes, for being a nice guy and letting me off. He pulled me over. He said he pulled me over for my headlight. But he was like, you took. No, not Wanda Sykes. He's a nice. He's what the hell are you doing speeding, boy? Wanda does it. I'm a cop now. I'm gonna tase you, bitch.
She's along that with Cat Williams with me, where she's just a very unfunny black person.
I like Wanda Sykes because she used to hang out with Louis and all the fucking Comedy Cellar crowd, and she was apparently like one of the deadliest fucking people to piss off because she would get drunk, and then like the caricature she does of like an angry black woman.
I didn't know it was a character. I was I hate this person.
No, she's like a really smart lady. But like I mean, she downplays it for like obviously for effect, but no, like there's like a great clip of O&A where Louis is making fun of Voss because apparently Voss owed Wanda money or something. I don't know. I don't remember the context.
She gave me $10 so I could buy a crack rock.
Yeah, basically. Something to the effect of that. But yeah, I think it was like when he was getting his teeth fixed or something like that. He needed like money to get across town. I don't fucking remember really what it is. I don't know why.
Spent all my money on my teeth. Not a good Voss, but you just throw the list in.
It's not a bad Voss. Just I'll be at Magooby. Just anytime you do Voss, you just have to plug where he is, and it's.
I got dates in Pittsburgh. I'm doing like a fucking.
You're doing not bad.
That guy. He was on Family Guy. He's like the Jewish kid. He's like, oh, my psoriasis.
Oh, yeah, Goldstein. Mort Goldstein, and then I forget the kid's name. Yeah, but yeah.
I like upside down face better.
That kid's so fucking funny. Tom Tucker's fucking kid.
This is off the rails, dude. This is an insight into my ADHD brain. I'm like, dude, Wanda Sykes sucks.
Family
upside
Guy
down
rules.
face, funny.
Let's
keep the momentum going.
Deformities in, blacks out. It's March.
It's Deformity History Month.
No, it's actually Women's History Month.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
You put them down.
The chick that you have a Wabe crush on at ShopRite, Bree, the one.
Oh, she's cute. Yeah, she's nice.
She's cool. I have like I'm in there all the time, and I always have to ask them. They used to have a box of bags, and I could just go get my own, and now I have to go up to them every single order, and I'm like. Like
the thing at the fucking produce counter.
It's like pull it out.
Trick. Excuse me, can I get another one? This chicken's a little greasy.
Anyway,
sorry, Bree, you're cool.
I'm like on first name basis with like most of the self checkout people, just for that.
Most of the bag receptacles. I'm so sorry.
I forget where I was going with this. I had a story to do with her. But
sorry. This is usually your job.
You have a crush on.
I don't have a crush on you, Bree. You're just a nice lady.
Nah, Joe thinks you're hot.
She's cute. She's just not. She's not wobbly.
Single man on the pod.
I could care the fuck less. Don't push my buttons during Women's History Month.
Don't make fun of me. No, but I went up to her at a small order the other day, and I'm like, hey, I need one large bag, please. And they always have the festive ones, like it was St. Patty's Day recently, and the Black History Month all February. I loved getting those.
There's no bags
for geezers, dude. Nah, I just pictured like a rich white person just getting this like, what the hell is this thing?
The hell are they doing?
But she walks over the one bag to me and hands it to me, and she's like, oh, this one's for Women's History Month. And like I was just like, genuine reaction. I was like, oh, cool. But like in my head after, I was like, that's fucking gay, dude. But I didn't. It's all chicks up there. I didn't want to be like, give me a fucking real bag.
That's actually a fun little. All right, so just off the top of your head, who's a noteworthy woman that you would like to celebrate during Women's History Month? We should do this as
my mom.
No, I mean, obviously
like historically noteworthy,
yeah.
Or someone.
Yeah, who's a good? Let's see who can who can find the most interesting.
That's a tough one, bro.
I'll start. Do you want me to start? I got a pretty good one.
Please start.
All right, so Valerie.
Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick's a great one. Horrible race car driver.
She's not horrible.
I mean, she didn't win much.
She didn't win
at
ever.
all
in
NASCAR, right?
Yeah. I think she won in Indy or whatever.
She
was big in open wheel before NASCAR.
Yeah.
She basically got a fucking cup ride for like a decade because
cup ride.
Because
sorry.
Because she was a woman. 2, she had big sponsorship backing with GoDaddy. If you bring a sponsor to a team, you can keep a cup ride without winning for 20 years.
I do remember
just because
those ads.
You can fund it. So she basically really outstayed her welcome, and not outstayed her welcome, but like had a ride for far longer than she should have, given her success rate, just solely because of her financial backing.
Okay.
Which is why a lot of NASCAR fans don't like people who only have the ride because of money, when there's guys who are actually talented who don't get a ride because they don't have the sponsorship backing. Anyway, that's a lot of inside baseball. I think
tell me more.
She was a very talented race car driver.
Okay.
To win in the Cup Series is the hardest thing to do in motorsports. I'll go out on the line and say it. Brett Griffin on Door Bumper Clear, he went out on a limb last week and was like, winning a Cup Series race in NASCAR is the hardest thing to do in all of sports. And then there was like a bunch of NASCAR pundits being like, I don't know, like, is it? He's like, he was legit, like, he's a spotter, so like he's been in NASCAR for like 20 years.
Spotter.
The guys who sit on the roof, they're on the radio, and the guy's headset, they're saying, hey, you can't move up, there's a guy
with like
there.
binoculars and shit?
Yeah.
So what's his name? The big black dude from Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, they're up on the roof, and they're your fucking eye in the sky. So this guy, Door Bumper Clear, it's a podcast with like 3 spotters. It's on Dale Jr.'s network. This is really getting into the weeds. But he went on a limb, and he was saying last week, he's like, winning a Cup Series race is the hardest thing to do in all sports. And then other people in that field, in the NASCAR field, are like, I don't know if it's harder than winning like a Stanley Cup or a fucking like, it's very subjective, like the hard. So I'm going to tame it back and say winning a Cup Series race is the hardest thing to do in all of motorsports.
Okay.
So I don't want to knock Danica. It's just making a Cup Series race is fucking incredible. So like, just because she never got a win, I don't want to. This is a very long-winded thing to say that you were like, she sucked at racing. No, she's an amazing race car driver. She just never got a win in the Cup. But
no, wait. So to just bounce off that, because I have a few Danica Patrick questions, actually. Like, I do. All right, so, like, was she a race car driver before she was, like, a model? I know that's a very stupid question.
I believe so, because I think she raced since she was a kid, like, doing karting and open wheel stuff.
Okay, so it's like
champ cars or something like that.
A genuine passion of hers that she pursued into a professional level.
Yeah, she just happens to be a hot lady and, made some endorsement money on the side. Basically, GoDaddy, I'll pay for your races, you do our ads type shit.
Because I'm not going to lie, there was a fine time of like my brain being young and mushy where I did not have any distinction between her GoDaddy commercials and Girls Gone Wild. And I just thought it was like, this is porn star.
Let me get the shark.
This pork's... Yeah, basically.
It's a weird trend, though, because in racing now, I mean, there's always been the one-off chick, but there's like 3, 4, 5 like hot chicks that are like in the lower level in the like the AAA leagues and stuff. And it's just like
any single girls?
I'm sure there are. Haley Deegan's Brian Deegan's daughter. She's
the
actually
fucking
engaged.
Metal Militia guy.
Yeah,
Deegan,
his daughter is in.
That's badass.
She's in the Xfinity series. It's one of those Danica situations though where it's like she gets a lot of flack because she didn't win shit in ARCA last year or in trucks, and she got bumped up to the next league, and it's like. Well, she's only up there because she has a fucking good sponsor. It's not because based on her merits. But that's just the way anything goes in life. Haley Deegan, I forget the other chick's name. But the one that I like the most in ARCA, there's like this beefcake, like softball pitcher looking chick.
Hell yeah.
That is fucking good. Like, And she's my favorite chick racer because she's like a real human being. All the other ones just seem like this weird publicity stunt where it's like, we're gonna put a hot chick in the car and see if we can drum up some
see if she can win without
Obviously,
turning.
these chicks are probably interested in racing, but like, I bet you a big portion of the reason that they are able to attain and maintain success is because of their attractiveness and their marketability.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Then we got fucking Porky the Pig in the 7 car just fucking laughing at these bitches, dude.
Stop, because I was trying to remember what movie I watched that I actually wanted to bring up on here, and I did. I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure the other day, and I was going to ask, is she Large Marge? It sounds like
she's
Large
not
Marge.
she's not like super fat,
No,
but
like Large Marge is like just like a woman that commands authority by like her
she's
demeanor.
Like me with long hair, just
that's
like
perfect.
ripped. She's from Wisconsin.
That's what I'm talking about. This is all right. So, what's her number? What's her name? Because I want to get this.
I don't know.
I will fully back this.
She led
chick.
some laps last week. I don't know her name. I should be more well spoke on this because I'm just like, there's some hot chicks in NASCAR, but like,
this is actually a genuinely good race chick.
She's in like the East Coast League level. Like she's like tier 4 or tier 3 or something like that. But she's in ARCA. Let me just Google fat girl ARCA racer because I don't know how else to look this up.
I'm gonna get fat girl arc welder.
Get fucking
get my dick hard
sucked off in a garage. No, there's no results for fat.
Plump.
Tony Breidinger, there's the cute one. She's one of the cute ones.
Oh hell yeah, is she Italian?
Yeah, I think so.
She's fucking foxy.
Madon. Yeah, there's a few of those floating around. I'm sure they would obviously, race circles around
me
and definitely me, but
racing circles around
fat girl,
head, girl.
ARCA.
Well, shout out, dude.
I'm gonna find it. Give me one sec.
Well, okay. So I want to talk more about NASCAR, actually, dude. But I have to ask you something. I found a really weird fucking race league. So I wanted to make sure I watched the right race yesterday, or like the correct race. So when I pulled up, like, there's auto racing on Fubo. Like, there's just like a race section. And I couldn't seem to find the NASCAR race yesterday, so I just went into the search bar and typed race. And
it was on Fox.
Well, okay, so what's with this fucking... There's this race league where it's like fucking... I don't know, it's like not so much about like the drivers, it's just this like race where like it's like really ugly chicks dancing or something.
What?
Yeah, it's like this like race league. Yeah, it's like a race, like it's like a show about a race league. I don't know. It's kind of like the Ultimate Fighter, but like with racers or whatever. And it's like just these really butt ugly chicks dancing, and there's like some like it's like some French.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like some French street, like Paul Street or it's RuPaul's Drag Race. Jay, help me write that.
I fucking hate you so much. You suck.
Jay, help me write that. Thanks, Pop.
I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
I was getting so flustered.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this.
She's slowing the internet down.
I like looked her up before.
This is the women's.
This sucks. Like, why is this so hard to find?
What's the name of the league?
ARCA Menards.
ARCA.
It's showing all the hot chicks, and I can't find the fucking beefcake chick anywhere, dude. I Googled her like a few weeks ago.
ARCA racing.
There she is, Mandy Chick.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
What I'm talking about,
dude. That is our girl right there. Mandy Chick.
We're sponsoring Mandy Chick.
No, we're sponsoring Tom, but no, Mandy Chick, you're on. We're gonna
She's
try
in our pilot program.
We're definitely gonna put you on Traction Motorsports shortlist when the sponsorship.
See if Tom wants her. All right, let me look her up real quick. Sorry, this is a very... But
yeah,
I knew you would appreciate. I knew you would appreciate that.
Now I have to edit my boner out.
She's from Kansas, DeSoto, Kansas. She's 22 years old.
Wait, what? Where Kansas?
DeSoto.
DeSoto, Kansas.
I thought she was Wisconsin.
She looks like
Mandy Chick races part-time in the ARCA Menard series for her family-owned race team.
What's her full-time job?
Eating cheeseburgers.
Probably not.
Quality control at McDonald's. Whole milk taste tester.
Tasting the oil. No, Mandy, stop. You can't drink that much 10W40.
High in protein.
It's high on protein. She's not slow, is she? No. She's a fast racer. I mean, I don't know.
It just makes me chuckle because every car is supposed to weigh the same amount. So if there's a driver who's like skinnier than like so say the car weighs 3,000 and the driver weighs 200. So like every car in the field is supposed to weigh 3,200.
Okay.
So like Mandy Chick will like this is a bad example, but just for numbers' sake, she weighs 250. So now they get to take 250 out of the weight of the car to make the weight equal. But say there's a really skinny person who weighs 150, they have to add 50 pounds in lead weights into the car just so everything's equal. So I'm just picturing them being like, Mandy, we took off everything we can take off. You're still way more than the fucking. We got to take the fucking.
Got to get all the
wheels off, dude.
The empty McDonald's wrappers out of the passenger seat. I got to take a thump.
I actually like root for this chick.
I do too. You got to fucking roast her though.
Shitting on her.
You can't like. She's got to have a sense of humor to be a chick in racing to begin with. And I'm sure what we're saying is nothing she hasn't heard probably on the track through the intercom of her own team. It's like, you fat bitch.
Probably not, because her family owns it.
That's even worse. It's like the Gillis family having a fucking race team.
So apparently her dad raced in the trucks and the Xfinity from 01 to 06.
What's her dad's name?
Steve Chick Jr.
Steve Chick Jr. Okay.
I've never heard of him. They're like it's what NASCAR was made off of, was these small no-name teams that...
Come on, that's a good one, right?
The Kennedys?
Yeah, because Joe Kennedy was a fucking rum runner.
Crashed?
No, that was the Chippequiddick guy. No, that was RFK that crashed his plane. No,
didn't one of the Kennedys weren't they one of the Kennedys hammered, crashed a car, and some chick died?
In Chippequiddick, yeah. There's a movie about it with Jim Gaffigan.
Which Kennedy was it?
Ted, I think.
Okay.
It's not one of the president.
Who the fuck is in Chippequiddick?
Not
I don't
one
know
of
who that is.
Not one of the president ones. It was like a senator. But
cousin.
no, the dad, Joe Kennedy, he was a rum runner.
That's how they got their wealth.
And NASCAR is based on...
they live in Brigantine? There's a sect of them that they summer in Brigantine.
They're all over the place, yeah. There's some in Connecticut, too.
W used to fucking service their HVAC stuff in Brigantine when he worked for Clay's, yeah.
Secret Service.
He's like, dude, it's the fucking Kennedys. He said their house was like a palace.
Of course it is.
Brigantine a weird one. I think I talked about it before. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a massive island. It's like you only have one way in, one way out too, unless you're going by boat, and it's like kind of a fucking sus.
There's a bunch of these towns around here that I guess through work I get to drive to more than I would, or if I ever even would. But I was in Leesburg the other night. Last night I took one it was Milmay or something, and the real town was Belleville. It was
Belleville.
It wasn't Belleville. It was
that by the prison, right?
It was by Vineland. So it was how there's Upper and then there's Petersburg, Tucko. It was in this borough called Bernstein or some weird name, and I was like, I've never been here before. It was fucking
Bernstein.
I kind of the Leesburg one. I was going down this main street. It was called Main Street, and it was just this weird old-timey town, and I'm like, this is 20-30 minutes from where we are, and I've never fucking been here. It's these weird old towns that I'm like, I wonder what the history is. Like we said, Brigantine was they did the light pirating, where they would pirate from the shore by tricking boats to run aground and shit. I'm like, wonder what Leesburg shit was. Were they just growing corn since millennia? What's going on? We know more about the coastal towns, but it's I wonder what's going on in Cumberland County, and the more you head west. I'm sure you're insightful.
Well, no, not really. Obviously.
Mandy Chick, she's fat. She races NASCAR, dude.
Dude, I'm thinking about her drinking motor oil still. Fucking dick's like a fucking lighthouse. What are you talking about? Come here, daddy's hungry. Yeah, there's cool stuff out there. Obviously when you ride your dirt bike, you go out to some strange places in Atlantic County and whatnot. I think the weirdest thing I've seen is Salem is where Ian lives is Port Norris. They have some cool nifty old shit in the town of Port Norris, but then if you go out to Bivalve, which is I know there's a town a borough of Wildwood in West Wildwood called Bivalve. It's out there by the Stacks, I think is what it's called. Where the old Section 8 used to be. I think it's called the Stacks or something like that. But yeah, there's another part of Salem County called Bivalve where it was just an oyster and clam processing plant all the way back to the late 1800s. Probably whale oil, fucking any kind of.
It's a weird name, bivalve.
Bivalve. Well, it's what a clam is, a bivalve.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's
I'm picturing plumbing stuff.
Joe
the plumber.
Yeah, Joe the plumber. Yeah, shout out.
Fixing your toilet
his bivalve didn't work in his fucking stomach,
in his pancreas.
He went the Bill Hicks way, man. Jesus Christ. Why are we lighting everybody
Alex
up?
Trebek.
Oh, dude, I was listening to so much Longmont Potion. I know you hate the fucking prank call guy, Longmont Potion Castle, but I listened to him. Alex Trebek was like his go-to. Whenever he would get like 4 or 5 people on the phone, he would just call Alex Trebek, and Alex Trebek would just be like, hello? They'd be like, who the fuck is this? He's like, this is Alex. And they're like, well, put me through to your manager. He's like, I don't have a manager. I host Jeopardy. Someone is messing around with the phones. I hope you have a nice day. And then just hangs up on them. They're like, is that fucking Alex Trebek? Like, sometimes they just cuss him out, like, too, and he's just like, okay, then have a good day.
Alex Trebek.
Yeah, he's just like, have a good day.
Daily
then.
double that, bitch. Daily double, go fuck yourself.
The price is wrong, Bobby.
What is fuck you, bitch?
You want to circle back to women for Women History Month? I got a woman.
Yeah, I don't. Danica Patrick isn't my pick. I'm sorry, I got into the weeds there. Let me. You do your woman, and then I'm gonna sit here and think about my.
Wabe. Wabe is my woman.
Shabe. Shout out to Bree.
Shabe. Bree.
I'll think and ponder over mine. And it's got to be someone historical, or has it got to be someone
I mean, it should be someone that like you should be able to find.
I like Amelia Earhart.
That's a good one. There's rumors that she apparently lived longer and might have been the Japanese might have caught hers, I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's her. Because she like crashed in like 37, 38, I think.
But they never found anything.
They never found her, but they found like water capturing places.
She just landed in Thailand. She's like, look at all these lady boys. I'm never leaving, dude.
I know. I was about to confuse her with Charles Lindbergh. I was going to be like, yeah, she's got the baby.
Baby got kidnapped.
Got kidnapped. Just didn't have any tits or whatever.
I went through, how, like when you're a kid, you go through like the dinosaur phase and like the different phases of childhood.
Ariel.
That story, I read a book on it in like 4th grade.
The Lindbergh one or
for like a month, I was obsessed with the Charles Lindbergh.
It's a cool case. It's like a Jersey story too.
Yeah,
like,
that's
so
why. It was like we had to do some project in either elementary or middle school about like some New Jersey historical event, and like I picked that and I read a book and like I was all in. I was like,
tricky case, right?
I was like, I wonder who did it. Like,
I love how
trying to solve it 87 years later. Dude.
I love how the go-to answer to like the prevailing theory for the longest fucking time was they just blame some fucking Armenian guy or Austrian guy. They just blame some foreigner. And they're like, yeah, he probably did it. He was fixing our windows. It's like that's perfectly sufficient
like
evidence in 1932.
He's foreign. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's like no.
He doesn't look like me. Guilty.
Well, dude, I've been listening to so much.
The black maid is like, thank God. It would have fucking strung me up, cuz.
I actually just listened to Otto and George and Jim Norton. Like it's like
Otto.
It's not like
a mechanic shop.
It's not like a real like profound episode or anything, but it was like Otto and George complimenting Norton and Norton complimenting Otto and George like on their acts, because I guess it was like when some comedy club in the city opened up and like Otto was still alive, so they were talking about like seeing each other perform, and he's like, the thing that like he said something kind of profound to Norton, and it was something that made me like very introspective for a second. We can go back to the Women History Month too for a second, but it's just like something that like off the dome I meant to bring this up. He commented that Norton always laughs at the wrong parts of other comedians' jokes. Like he'll laugh in the middle of like.
You think he already knows what's
but
coming?
It's not just that he knows what's coming, but he like says that it's like I kind of like am familiar with the like if
he appreciates the buildup.
He appreciates the buildup, but he also appreciates the mannerisms and like the way people speak. And like I find myself, I'll be the only person laughing at a joke like halfway through the fucking setup because I'm like, I know where this is going. Like I know Stanhope's gonna say something crazy. I know Bert's gonna be like, like it's like whatever the fucking punchline is. It's like I don't know specifically what it is, but I know what's coming. And there's something about like that, like oh you just set the hook and you're reeling me in, and that's what's getting me giggling. Yeah. And like something about that made it where he's like, normally you don't see that. Like Norton's a very good comedian, like obviously. Well, like he's like normally. That's something you see with like more like talent scouts and like stuff like people that aren't industry or like that are industry but aren't talent. And I was like something about that where I'm like, yeah, maybe like I'm not good at like I don't want to do stand up. I want to do this though, where I'm like I have that Anthony Cumia thing where I am funny and I'm able to roll with it, but I don't feel performative.
It's a different medium though.
Exactly. Like so, but like me like laughing at the wrong parts, kind of like at least was like, all right, maybe I am on the right track doing this. That was just an aside, but anyway, the way that I tie that back into Otto and George is whenever Otto would be doing George on stage and there would be a black person within eyesight of the stage, he would put the puppet right in their face and go guilty. And so,
I missed the Otto and George boat, so like I got into O&A super late. I got in right around the time when Jim and O were fucking breaking up, like 2017. But that was just one of those O&A rabbit holes I never really went down. I heard them talk about him, but he had already like died by the time around the period I was listening to. So I'm not familiar with Otto or George really at all. I heard he was like, Stanhope talks about him too, like. Like Jeff Dunham kind of stinks. Like he's funny when you're 12, but now it's just like, dude, what are we doing? Like ventriloquists and prop comics are typically considered hacks. Apparently, this guy was like a legit funny ventriloquist act. You know what I mean? He
was a profoundly funny one. So much that David Copperfield has his puppet George. He has George in his like private like magician's collection.
Fucking Silverfield, fucking noble metals and shit in it.
Heliumberg. Hindenburg. I don't know. Where am I going with this? Fucking
comedy.
There we go.
I think you could do comedy, but like I think these are two different things.
Yeah, but
that's just like a.
It was just a thought. Like I just was like, I would rather be Ant than Norton, and it's like I feel like Jay being like a comedian now. It's really been good.
I feel like it's a football player that's like not very good that becomes a coach.
I'm a Mike McDaniels. That's just it. Like I want to be Mike McDaniels.
I'm like
I love that guy.
Richard Childress. Like he wasn't. He raced for like 5-10 years. Wasn't great. Picked up Dale Earnhardt as his driver, and they won 7 championships or 6 championships together. So it's like, I'm not coaching anyone stand up, but you're like Richard Childress, and your dad is fucking Dale Earnhardt, dude.
I love the sport. I love the game of it. It's like something that like I cannot be effective in that medium. Like I don't feel like I would be optimally funny in that medium. But it's like I have the ability to edit. I have the ability to kind of like work around shit. Like there's stuff that we could do just contextually that I find funnier than anything I say into this microphone. Like when we do a podcast outside. Purely just because it's a nice day, but it's like a podcast is supposed to be like an isolated, contained thing. And we're just like outdoors half the time, and like at a fucking an implosion to a fucking like a loud thing where we're breathing in cement dust. And it's like most people think like podcasts like studio,
it's like a radio studio
something like professional
thing.
High end, and it's like it's just more goofy to me and like funnier to me to just be doing this. Like I couldn't get away with doing like what Voss does and just walking into Starbucks and start doing comedy, but
I know we always bring up Matt and Shane, but like it like
Shout
legit I don't know why it shouldn't annoy me, but like every episode they do now, it's just in like Shane's like fancy living room.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't annoy me that his house is fancy, like get money. But just like a podcast of that level making that much money, it's just like part of my head's like, dude, just get a fucking studio.
They have a studio.
But they literally just record like lounging on the couch.
They have a studio now. Like the newer episodes are all in a studio.
Really?
Yeah. Like
I watched like not BLACKTOOth, the bootleg fucking Patreon episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, those are.
And dude, all the ads I screenshotted it. They're all in like some sort of Asian. Like they do it as like whoever runs the channel must have done it as like a joke. But like every ad is in like Hindi or fucking Asian or something.
It's probably to get around the copyright so they can monetize their channel.
I'm
so
pretty sure it's Asian and they're just making fun of Shane for the whole.
Well, maybe that's probably it. But they're probably like they can't have the ad reads on there.
I was working the other day. I'm shopping in ShopRite. And I felt like I'm losing my fucking mind because every 10 minutes it's just like, and like I'm just like I could have just opened up YouTube and hit the skip button or whatever, but it's just like I'm trying to do something. So like I would just listen to that for like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, like stop, like you're just getting yelled at and fucking. It wasn't Chinese. It was like Taiwanese or something. Like the characters look really weird, dude. Let me pull it up and see if you can ID this language.
I absolutely will. Also, there was a segment on Legion of Skanks that I want to do with you, but it's like I don't want to just dunk on you, but it's funny. If we have a third party, it would be fun.
I feel like I need a good dunking.
Well, okay, so
I do too much dunking. I don't get dunked on
They
enough.
did the fucking countries. They did the outlines of countries and it saw who could guess the most, and like they like crazy failed. Like all. It's like Dave was the only one that like stayed out of it, but it was like Lewis and Jay and Shane all trying to identify countries, and like they're just missing horrifically. Shane got most of them, but like that's to be a given. He's a smart fella. Like, yeah. No, I want to.
Shane's really good with like history and all that type of shit.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
I knew I screenshot it. Oh, here it is. I think that's Taiwanese.
No. That would be that's Vietnamese.
Okay,
because all the little
they had an ad every 5 minutes on this. There's like 20 ads on this hour-long podcast, and they're all this, and it was like them like yelling at you to buy like this supplement or something.
Vietnamese or like Laotian, like all of those like southern, like not Pacific Rim ones, but like the southern strip, like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. It might be Cambodian too. There's actually, because like sometimes they use English letters too. But yeah, that's like a real aggressive Asian language. They're like, it's a fucking deer hunter when Walken's playing Russian roulette. It's like, wow, did he out?
I think the only ones I can really pick up are like the big three: Japanese, Chinese, and Korean.
I got a pretty good ear for it, but I mean, those are the
Vietnamese
easiest.
And like, what are the
Laotian, Cambodian?
What did Bobby Lee or someone called them? Like jungle Asians?
Yeah, they're jungle Asians.
Like
yeah,
that is exactly so fucking funny. But there, it's like a totally different, like ding bang ding dong dong. Like they got.
It's very chunky. It's a very chunky language, and they speak it real aggressively. So it's like a lot of times.
I can't describe how like Chinese, Japanese, and Korean are different, but like Japanese is like,
want me to try?
Oh, and then like Chinese is like Dao Su Ma, and then like fucking Korean is like.
Yeah, no, that's fucking spot on. Japanese and Korean are the hardest to discern of those three, because Chinese is, like you said, it's like rounded. It's very like rounded, like but yeah, like but like Japanese is kind of like wow, like, and you're speaking in like a very like
the only reason I can pick Japanese is because of World War II stuff.
Yeah,
and then like Chinese because of Yan, and then Korean's just like.
Well, Korean's like the closest to Russia, and it's like it has like elements of like a little bit of like Russian, like not
That's
so much like phonetically.
I never would have known that.
Yeah, like so like Mongolian too. Mongolian, they don't speak Mandarin Chinese. They speak their own kind of like their own Chinese that actually like Russia recognizes as an official language of like eastern states and provinces.
Shit.
But yeah, it's
There's
like real
Ice Asians.
pretty much. Yeah, like they're the Highland Asians. They're like the ones that are like nomads still to this day.
Those guys are hardcore.
They're fucking nuts.
They just
man.
like eat like 2 seals a year. Like they just like
they were. I was
they
watching.
only eat like whale blubber. Like they don't like their whole diet is just animal fat. There's no vegetables growing up there. There's no like grains. Like they're in like.
I actually wish we had a Jamie on this, because I would want the guy to like the exact video I could think of. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mongolians on the Silk Road not only brought camels to like Africa or like Europe or Africa or something like that, like on the Silk Road, they brought them, but they also introduced the delicacy of eating the camel hump. Like they were just like seen as like they were seen as like
probably good, but just I've never heard of that.
Well, because they have like they have like such an arid climate. They like meat cures, like you just leave it outside, it doesn't like it just dehydrates. It doesn't go bad. So they were like drying it, and then they showed the process of like how you dehydrate the camel hump, because like it was just like this fat.
They're just eating hump jerky.
They couldn't do. Yeah, basically it's like it's like high in protein. It's like very good, especially if you use like limited amounts of like stuff to preserve it. You just let it like cure in the air, and like if I'm not mistaken, it was like the Mongolians, if not like the Chinese.
I wouldn't do well with that. I mean, I'm sure you would adapt and survive, but like you're a cook, so you're used to gross meat stuff, and I love meat, but like I don't even like pulling apart a damn rotisserie chicken.
You mentioned
get
that
those
before.
weird rib cage things in there and stuff. I don't like it. I don't like. Like, I don't mind cooking a piece of salmon and you take the skin off, or I'll just leave it on and eat it. But, like, if it came to, like catching a fish and actually, like, filleting it up, I don't like it. I know our buddies and stuff on here, like Aaron Sheps, too, all of them hunt. They've all fucking probably shucked a deer, but...
Shucked a deer.
Aaron...
Cracked open a cold one.
Aaron... Not shucked. It would be, like... The way I could describe this video that Aaron showed me back in the day...
We're skinning a deer... in one part where you
like
you
Clementine,
rip it up.
They tie a rope to it. They cut 2 holes and they tie a rope to it,
and then back up an ATV and just
like
fucking peeling an orange.
He showed to me we're both like off like 10 dabs. This is like 10 years ago, and it sounded like a fucking orange peel in one go, and it freaked me out. Like I was just like, dude, I gotta go outside. Like I had like a fucking Lee Syatt panic attack. Like I was like, dude, I gotta go.
I forget which Michael Moore document. It's obviously not Bowling for Columbine. It's one of his early ones. I think it's the one about like the Flint auto industry that he did in like the late 80s or early 90s. But Michael Moore had a documentary where he was like showing just how shitty Michigan is since like the auto place, like all the auto manufacturers like left. And there's this part where this chick is just like, out of necessity, I have to kill and skin these rabbits, and she's just giving this no nonsense like opinion on the unions. Well, she's breaking a rabbit's neck and skinning it, like, and it's like, oh my fucking god,
that's gnarly. I mean,
everything you're saying is like in one ear and out the other. Like
I saw a reel this week, and it was one of those guys in New York City that they'll be like, oh, what's your apartment rent?
Oh yeah,
or
how
like,
much is your rent?
This guy's the one who's like, what do you do for a living?
And
the guy's like, I work at the meat processing plant. I'm like, I don't know if it was like a spoof, like viral video, but like the guy who was talking was so creepy. He just had this 1,000-yard stare with like this half a smile, and he's just like, so what do you do? He's like,
I slaughter.
I put the air gun right between their eyes, and he's like, he had some official word, like I expire them or something, whatever the term was. And they were like, so the guy's like creeped out, and he's like, so what's the favorite part of your job? And he's like, watching the light leave their eyes. And
Nice.
All the comments were like, what the fuck? It was so creepy that I was like, this has to be a work.
It probably
has
is
to
fake,
be
yeah.
like a viral, like let's fucking get 100 million views on TikTok. But
Yeah.
it was kind of fucking creepy.
Sounds
That would
fun.
be a shit fucking job, working at like a meat processing plant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a fun one.
There's a guy I became friends with through the Hawk 250 dirt bike group on Facebook. He's from North Kakalaki. I don't know his real name, but his name on Facebook is Tay Too Hood. Middle name Too.
Tay Too Hood.
Tay is too hood.
He's
Dude. He's
too
too
hood
hood for his
me.
own good, dude.
Too hood for his own good. God damn it.
But we became Facebook friends through this dirt bike group. And now he's always posting about like his baby mama and fucking all this, the quarrels and drama that he has in his life. But now recently he got a job at the Tyson chicken plant or something like that.
It's a big one
He's
down
just
there.
fucking like, he's in the slaughterhouse. They're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in Slaughterhouse B. I'm like, fuck, dude, that's a gnarly ass fucking gig, dude.
Yeah.
Just like pick a chicken up and swirl it around.
That's not
like,
what they do
I know.
anymore. They put their necks into this like conveyor belt thing. They dangle and then they bring them through this thing that electrocutes their heads. It has like two.
I eat
probes.
chicken every day, but like
Yeah.
being face to face with it and not just being able to play pretend, just walk in the grocery store and walk out. Like I know something has to die for me to eat, but
Yeah.
like working in the meat processing plant is like gnarly. I'd rather fucking tangerine a deer with Aaron than fucking like working there 8 hours a day would just, that's gotta fuck with your head.
Absolutely.
Just constant.
Just killing things.
There's
all day.
people who can shut it off and they're like, put meat on the table.
I'll even meet you in the middle. One that kind of bothers me just because of how fucking much. Have you ever seen albacore tuna fishermen?
No.
They're a specific kind of like there's all sorts of tuna. There's like big yellowfin, big eye, like bluefin, but there's these smaller black ones called albacore, and they're very abundant. They're not as like heavily regulated as
all the, when I get tuna fish cans for geezers when I'm working, it's always albacore
it's
tuna.
cheap. Yeah, it's like a dirt cheap fit. It's
No
like
shit.
like the lowest end.
I thought that was a brand. I didn't know that was the type of.
No, it's a species. Yeah,
No
it's
shit.
a species of tuna.
I'm learning all kinds of shit on here.
Hey,
today,
man, I'm a
North
knowledgeable
Korea is near fucking
They
Russia.
speak guttural.
I didn't know they were Russian.
You know what? All right, so putting a pin in this, just albacore tuna fishermen, they kill a lot of them. Like, it's not like one big tuna like you see on like the fishing shows.
Those
It's
are
like
gnarly too. They
it's
just
like-
stab them in the side.
yeah,
with this
it's
big
like
grappling hook.
several hundred fish that they have to kill before they get on the boat. So they gaff it and then take this big other gaff with a long
I saw that
point,
on-
and they put it right between the eyes, or they gut it underneath. Like you kill it like by putting a knife under its gills.
There was
And
some
it's
show
like-
where like they commercially were fishing just with like just standing on the side of a boat. It was on like Discovery or
it's
something like that.
there's
It wasn't Deadliest Catch. It was something, or they must have been
wicked
fishing
tuna,
those.
wicked
like,
tuna. Yeah, there's
They're
usually
like some of the guys were using nets and doing that, but the one boat's method was just like
Gaff
we just
'em and gut
stand
'em,
here,
yeah.
just fucking boom,
Yeah.
right here. Just
so yeah, like
they would chum the waters and then just fucking just be. There just got to be a better way to do it.
No,
but
I'd say it's pretty effective. It's
they
like
had
because
like a black chick on there trying to do it, and she was just.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. That crew ended up doing pretty successful that season. A big fucking fat guy named Ty, I think.
She was cool. She was like, I suck today, but like I'm gonna try to do better tomorrow. She was like solid.
They fired this fucking asshole guy that was like he just didn't show up for work like a whole bunch, and then they hired her, and she's like she had a pretty good attitude.
Oh, it's still alive.
Sweet dude, lovely. It's better.
There was a dead fly in my shit, and it's just crawling on my finger.
Better than my fucking dog sticking
They're
in
drinking
nose.
shit because
protein.
Like, I'm drowning.
But yeah, they albacore tuna or fuck, I forget where I was going. I had something I wanted to fucking bring up.
That team had a solid season. Albacore tuna, to put a pin in that.
No, but before that, it's fine. We need a stenographer. God damn it. Anyway.
Jamie, look that up.
Yeah, Jamie,
that's got to be frustrating to listen to when you're like, hey, I know what you were just talking about.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to be editing and be like, I know what it was. But no,
what does albacore tuna have to do with Koreans? Because we were just talking about Korea.
There we go. That was it. A fun fact about. We could go back to the women's segment after this. We could.
I had the pin there. I was
couple
waiting
of pins. Yeah. All right. So, did you know that Korea tried to invade Japan like multiple times, but there was these two specific instances where they fucked up so bad because they read the weather incorrectly that now Korea has this like superstition about like fighting with Japan. They like don't do it. They think it's a like
nah, it's gonna rain.
It's bad juju. Yeah. So like there's like I don't know like when I don't know Japanese history that well, but it was like sometime in like the feudal Japan era, Korea's king or whatever their monarch was like, no, we go to Japan, we take a bunch of so they were planning on island hopping from Korea to Japan, and like in like the early stages of their journey, like half their army got wiped out because they read the weather incorrectly, and the wind was supposed to be going one way.
Wind?
Yeah, the wind was supposed to be going one way. It ended up taking them like way out into like the fucking like what we call the irons, but it was like the straits, and some of the boats ended up out in the ocean where they weren't supposed to be, and ended up fucking not being able to get back, and then some of them just had to like reroute back. So then they tried it again a few years later, and the same exact shit happened. So Korea's just like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking try and do a sea invasion of Japan ever again. And it's like actually like a superstition that their culture has like fully embraced. Like even when Japan,
it's pretty dumb because the wind doesn't really dictate where your boat goes now.
Yeah,
fucking idiots.
Asians are fucking stupid like that. They're
super
insanely superstitious. Japan actually like bullied them a little bit during World War II because of that superstition and played into it. Like I think they sacked.
They turned on a bunch of fans.
I think they like sacked them by air like at first, and then just were like, wait a minute, they're just gonna let us do this, and showed up in boats, and like Koreans are like, fuck, we could have done something about this. But
I guess Korea got the last laugh.
Yeah, they did.
It's funny you brought up Japan, because we were talking about World War II or something last week, and some guy who had some traumatic, I forget who we were talking about, and I never got to bring up this point, but Leanne Kreischer was on some podcast, and she talked about her her grandpa or something like that, who she had fucked up parents, and like she was partially raised by her grandparents, and it was like, I think it was her grandpa, and he was really mean, like super mean, but he was in World War II and he just never talked about it. And then later in life they find out that
Grandpa
he got PTSD therapy, and like he was fine. He was actually like super
normal.
Good dude after that, but he was just bottling up his fucking emotions. His job in World War II was after they nuked fucking Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he was one of the guys walking around trying to find any Japanese survivors.
Oh, cool.
What a fucking dude.
I mean, that's a brutal job.
Just a bunch of fucking pink mist everywhere, dude.
Just literally shadows.
He was just,
human shadows.
So he was just like never told anyone about this, and was just like taking this on the chin for 20 years. And it was just like a really mean drunk. And it's like, she was like, oh, I understand why now. Like,
juxtapose it to that guy that they had on Shane Gill, or not on, but
that
Shane
might have been what we were talking about.
But Shane had
his
that
uncle.
No, not his uncle. That's a cool with the Vietnam with the spooky gunship. Yeah, that's a cool story. That's a real weird fucking like. And I got like one Vietnam story actually from like my dad's friend's brother or whatever. He's the one that was hunting cats in Vineland in full fucking fatigues. He apparently he was like a tunnel rat, and he said that like he got. I don't know if I can actually say this, but let's just say he took a few war trophies and got stuck, like stopped by like his own, like the military police, like when he was trying to leave country, and they were like, yeah, you can't bring evidence of you murdering people with you, and had to
what did he bring back? Sorry.
Ears.
Oh.
Yeah, a few ears.
That's fucked.
Yeah. He was a tunnel rat though, so he's like losing his mind underground like I did today. I get why he fucking, not necessarily like that, but that's
I didn't know that there was, see, I'm very stupid, and like, you know, Vietnam wasn't one of those wars that you really delved in K through 12. It was usually World War II and like the Revolution.
Really fucking gloss over it because
the most Vietnam education I got was history through film when we watched Platoon. Like,
okay.
And I slept halfway through that.
Well, anyway, the Shane thing where they're talking about that guy, the guy was on Iwo Jima, and he was just like, I didn't have a girlfriend, so I didn't mind dying, but I just started killing him. And then he like he executed a prisoner of war, but like she wasn't supposed to do. And he pulled this like apparently the Japanese guy was like, he's supposed to have this like very poignant, like, you know, like humanistic moment with this guy, because this guy's clutching a photograph, and this fucking dumb yokel's like, well, I told him to give me the photo and he wouldn't, so I shot him in the face. And I figured it would be like a photo of his wife or maybe his family or something. No, it ended up being this photo, and then they like censor it, and it's like he was on Dan King and he was having a beheading contest, and it's him with like a bunch of beheaded Chinese people around him, and he's like, yeah, so I brought that home with me.
That's pretty cool.
God damn it. Yeah, like I hear such fucking random, weird, like
there was some recently that Shane was talking about, some guy who got like the Iwo Jima guy who like he got injured twice or something. And
the guy that got shot. The guy that got shot in the face in World War I. And he he said it was
Japan.
Oh, okay.
And he was like some crazy. I don't remember the specifics, but it was like some guy who got like basically almost fatally wounded twice and was like, I need to go back and be with my men. And he was like he just like went back into Japan like on his own or some shit. Like,
Nice.
Fucking, I forget. Sorry.
Good job.
I was gonna say I'm dumb. I didn't even know there was tunnel rats in like Vietnam. Like I don't know.
That's what Forrest Gump's job was. When they give him a pistol.
I don't
and a
remember
flashlight.
tunnels. I know the Japanese had tunnels in World War II.
Well,
and, like
yeah.
they had like tunnel fucking cities, but like
Well,
I didn't know that
Viet
like
Cong were like the experts. They were like the
so
foremost.
our guys would go in there and try and clear them. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a gnarly
but they had
fucking
like
job.
cities underneath. Like there was
Vietnam
this,
did too?
there's this really good movie called Hamburger Hill, and it's on like Tubi or something like that, or Prime for free. It's like it's a very brutal movie. It's not like you're not leaving that one like Platoon, where there's like a little uplift. Like no, you were gonna leave this like, oh my fucking.
I don't want to go to war.
Like it's like they made them do that. It's like so it's about this one hill in Vietnam that they had to take.
Bunch of cheeseburgers and shit.
Yeah.
McDonald's at the top.
But they were calling it they're calling it Hamburger Hill because it's like it was like a meat grinder, and like they try to take it like over the course of like a year, like pretty much every week for like a year straight. They tried to take the same hill.
Our boys just getting
and it was just
murked.
they would try and they would bomb it and then try and find a new way up, and then the VC were so deeply entrenched in this hill like underground that they would be like 3 steps ahead of them already, so they'd let the US come up and then they'd be like already beyond the VC's lines. The VC would just start firing them from up the hill, and then when we were retreating they would just fire back at them while we're retreating up like downhill. Like so it was just like they would get like pinced, like I think it's called a pincer move or whatever.
Flanked.
Like, yeah, it was getting like pinced or whatever. It was like that would happen like
They were in
like,
a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's
So,
on first? Bunch of Viet Cong with machine guns.
Who's on second? What's on second then?
Bunch of Viet Cong with machine guns.
And where's third?
Up there with the good Lord, dude.
I don't know's home, so fucking knock on wood. Anyway, but yeah, well, where do you want to go from this? You want to talk more about? We could talk about Vietnam a little bit more because like there's a.
I'm really rattling this around in my brain. I can't think of like a noteworthy woman, dude.
Really? Oh shit. Okay, so mine is.
I want to for the 3 female listeners we have. It's just like
Autumn. Autumn's our woman of.
My aunt listens. My mom does sometimes.
Someone you could Wikipedia.
I'm not. I don't.
All right, so
I'm trying to think of like even just for some reason Queen Latifah wants to come out and like I don't even really like her.
She's
like,
noteworthy.
No, she's a queen, dude.
Jesus. I was gonna say Valerie Solanas. Valerie Solanas, I think, is a very interesting woman because she's someone I don't think you would expect me to find any pleasure in observing.
Who is it?
So she's
Did
the
she
late.
that fucking cryptocurrency Solana?
No,
Okay.
she is a woman from. She was an outspoken feminist in the 50s. So she like was raised in a broken home, got like molested by her parents and whatnot. Had a real fucking rough
By
go
her
of
parents?
it. Yeah,
By both parents?
like yeah, like was basically like whored out by her family at like 8. It was like yeah, you. Like,
I thought it was like threesome incest.
No,
like, that's gnarly,
well,
dude.
like her
What the
family was
fuck?
basically forcing her to be a prostitute.
That's not like
from a very
molested.
young.
That's like human trafficking.
Yeah, so whatever the verbiage would be in 1954
dude.
or whatever, but yeah, so she was like she ended up like kind of like taking care of herself, but became this like real staunch feminist, and got in her head that like she wrote this book called The Scum Manifesto, which is all about like how men need to be treated like cattle. Basically, exactly what I say about women.
No wonder you like this broad.
Yeah, she's great. And then she wrote this manifesto, and it's hilarious. It's about like how men need to like cut their dicks off and like renounce being man. Like they need to give their balls to women and let the women hold them, so that there is like a true power dynamic between like equality of like it's nuts. It's fucking psychotic.
When was she around again? You said 1800s?
No, the 1960s. Yeah. So she was
she dead now?
Yeah. So her claim to fame, like, because the Scum Manifesto is just wild. It's just like a crazy piece of literature. But I guess she wasn't getting the traction with it she wanted, so she decided she was going to assassinate Andy Warhol and shot him a few times, but he lived, and then accidentally killed his fucking
his dog.
No,
right?
his manager. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, that's my woman of note for the first edition of
A fucking psycho who tried to assassinate some gay artist.
Yes.
What was her plight against Andy Warhol?
She didn't like him for being a man. I know that, but I think he was like because he wasn't like as staunchly
she
wasn't as staunchly feminist or something as she was. She's had beef with him, probably in an artistic sense too, because she was like a star.
I don't like Campbell's soup.
I don't like your fucking bullshit.
His weird screen printing fucking art or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck it was.
It's pop media. It was
fucking gay.
It was. He was
like
very, very homosexual man.
Not even even in that sense of the word. It's just like I wasn't really a fan of his art.
No, he was very gay. Like he was very gay.
I know
like,
he's literally gay, but his art
is gay.
Not in a homosexual way. Like fucking Tom Selleck could have painted those paintings, and like they're gay. Like,
why'd you get a Tom Selleck?
Because he's an alpha.
He is an alpha.
He's got that cool mustache. He's the least gay guy.
What about Chuck Norris? He's got a mustache.
He's pretty straight.
He's pretty straight too.
But I could see
hetero.
him sucking one in prison or something.
Nah, Chuck Norris.
I could see him swinging a little.
Nah, Chuck Norris.
He probably sucked off Bruce Lee.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Bruce Lee probably sucked him off.
They did Standing 69.
That would be cool. That's hot. Flying 69.
Roundhouse
Who's
69.
on top? Who's on top? I mean,
Who's on first?
Lee's a like little guy, so like I'm presuming Norris would just jump.
Nah,
into Norris
they reversed, dude. Norris is a power bottom.
Is a power bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This is we're getting some.
Remember when Chuck Norris jokes were like the epitome of comedy in like 2005?
No, but I mean they were good.
Did you ever go to sessions?
Yeah, dude.
That was like they were just Chuck Norris jokes and Balls Energy were like what kept sessions running
I remember
for like a year.
Balls Energy being a big deal there.
I was very disappointed. 7-Eleven used to carry it. I bought one as recently as like 5-6 years ago at the Linwood 7-Eleven. That's now a pretzel shop called Twist. It's fucking gay. RIP 7-Eleven in Linwood. But I went to the 7-Eleven there in Northfield or Pleasantville or whatever. You know the one on Shore Road?
Yeah.
I was like, I was stoked to get a Balls Energy, and they don't have it.
Damn.
And I felt weird because the fucking old Indian dude was staring at me, so I just like bought a lighter or something. Like I felt like, you ever in those shops you feel like obligated to buy something?
No, absolutely not.
I don't know.
It's fucking free trade, motherfucker. Have something worth buying.
Those dudes like give me like a fucking, I don't know. Not that they're gonna do anything to me, but it's just like,
what's the recourse? So to get out of my store. Okay, I was leaving anyway.
I don't know. There is no recourse. It's just like I feel guilty, like they think I'm stealing. So I'm like, let me buy something for $1 just to like.
You're fucking taking our jabs. You fucking Hindu.
Our people used to run convenience stores.
You're taking mom and pop's money.
Yeah, no Balls Energy. But Chuck Norris jokes were huge when I was middle school, and like I don't think they really hold up.
No, I mean I got one. Did you know Chuck Norris can eat Chick-fil-A on Sundays? Like they're still funny. It's just they're like, I wouldn't say they were like the pinnacle of jokes. Like your mama jokes were way like
I was like 11, so like it was the pinnacle of comedy.
So
you're older, so you were like 15. You're like, this is stupid.
What I'm saying, like when I was in fucking 6th grade, the pinnacle of funny would be they would let you out in front of the school.
Funnyjunk.com.
Not even internet. Like it was pre-internet. Like because like this was like too young. Like we were too young to comprehend what funny in the context of the internet was. Like Goatsy existed. It wasn't anything that was gracing our lexicon. We would go and look up Yo Mama jokes on Google and then stand out in front of the school either after lunch when they'd let you outside for some fresh air once in a while or before the buses get there, stand in a big circle and yell Yo Mama jokes over each other until somebody got a really good one.
That still holds up.
And that's funny. That
some of the hardest belly laughs I've had are fucking Yo Mama jokes when I was like 10.
Yo Mama's so fat she brings crabs to the beach.
Your mom's a whore. She brings crabs to the beach.
Your mama's
That's
a horse.
Where that fucking joke
Your mother's gross.
Your mama's so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around the house. Like some of them were so stupid.
Your
like
mama's
that.
so fat.
Mama's so fat she sat on a rainbow and Skittles popped out.
Your mama's so fat for your dad to fuck her, he has to roll her around and flour and look for the wet spot.
Mine were much more tame. I think I was like 2nd and 3rd grade when we were doing these jokes.
When I was a kid, like my favorite thing was this kid John Gershon that I used. Shout out Gershon. He used to. We played lacrosse, and he told me the most innocent thing ever, but it's like, God damn it, did I not do that and love the shit out of it. He told me him and his cousin Beth used to go to their grandparents' house go up into the attic where like nobody could hear them. They would just sit there and then be like, all right, on the count of 3.
Fuck.
1, 2, 3. Ass, and then laugh uncontrollably.
That's
and I'm like, I did the same thing. I would go out to my friend Sean Barrett's shed.
We would like whisper say it.
Yeah,
be like, fuck.
we would crawl up on top of his shed and then sit there like this and go, penis. It's like it's still
we
holds
also
up.
did just unprovoked from the ages of me, Johnny, and like Timmy and Josh from the ages of like probably 6 to like 8. It's just a funny bit. It would get the boys going whenever you did it. You wouldn't do it often, but every now and then on like a sleepover or a wild night, you get a couple Mountain Dews in you. Something that would kill.
Someone whips their dick out.
Literally. Say there's like
over-caffeinated children.
A long hallway. Not even whips your dick out. You would just, so what you would do is you would take off your fucking pants and underwear and you would just run up and down like the hallway with your dick flopping around and just be like, woo! woo, just being like a fucking. It wasn't like a sexual thing. It was just like a primal thing.
Pure
like,
hooliganism.
Bro,
Yeah.
it would crush, dude. It would every time. The other three who weren't running around with their cock out would be like
hilarious.
Belly laughing, dude. I remember one specific incident where Johnny was just darting up and down my grandparents' hallway with just fucking dick and balls flopping around.
I can't say who because the kid would get very mad at me for saying his name.
I don't know if Johnny would be stoked.
Well, but
we were fucking set.
Yeah, that's it. That's just it. When I was like 10, I had this friend who I won't say his name, but he had a pool, like an above ground pool, and the thing we used to do is it had lights in it, and it would be. It always would kill. It would kill with his older sister, which even now, like, this is why I'm not mentioning him. This probably raises a lot of fucking red flags about her. But when she was like 14, we were like 10.
No.
So she's like, not like slutty or whatever, but she was like, she was a teenage girl, and we always
was a woman to you.
You're
10. You're like, this is a woman.
Always trying to get her attention, always trying to get a laugh out of her or whatever. And the easiest way to get a fucking laugh out of her would be we would go outside at night and turn the lights on in the pool, and then take turns, like, 'cause it's an above ground pool with like a porch built around it. You would take turns. You take your bathing suit off, face it, so you're just all you see is white ass, and then run. And when you jump to do a cannonball, your balls hang out a little bit, and it's just this little brown, and it would crush. It's so fucking funny, and it's just pointing that out. It's like his balls were brown.
She would laugh.
I would do it. She'd laugh. He would do it. She'd laugh. Everybody was fucking dying, and then his mom would get mad. And she'd be like, "You're doing gay shit in the pool again."
That is funny though, because we did that shit around the pool too, where it's just like. One dude rips off his fucking swim trunks and like now we're all naked and we're like you said you're like 10, 8, whatever fucking old.
There's nothing sexual about it.
And my grandma would be out the window be like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" We're all just naked, just fucking giggling.
It's like when there
was a weird one with my grandma where like we were fucking sticking our fucking pricks on the pool jet or something like that. And
as boys do.
Yeah, and she was just like hanging out the window being like, "I know what you're doing," but she like wasn't stopping it. She was just like, "What are you fucking guys doing?" And we're just getting sucked off by a pool jet. She would just be like hanging out the window smoking a dart, be like, "I know what you're up to.
Knock it off."
Yeah. There was one.
You're gonna clog the.
This is jogging memories. She had a video. She could probably go to jail for this video.
She did. So fucking
post it. She had this VHS. She recorded it like with the old school like Sony, like camcorder or whatever. Like
she
the
had
fucking
to pull a fucking lens cap off to take a picture of your little dick.
It was like the 1999 camera. And we were again at this weird age where we were just let's all get naked and run around the pool. But we were like dancing, all of us, just like 3 fat kids, me, Johnny, and Josh, or me, Timmy, and Josh, and then Johnny's like skinny. It's just like 3 fat kids and 1 skinny kid. And we're all just like dancing around, like doing like a Joey Coco Diaz, like flopping our dicks around and shit like that.
It's fucking awesome.
All laughing.
It's fucking kills.
She pulls out the camera and she's like, "I'm gonna show this at your wedding." Da da da. Well, none of us ever got married in time, but maybe I'll pull out her child porn collection.
You should pull out your dick at your wedding.
Johnny's wedding. Just be like, "Yo, I found this in me mom's stash."
I thought your own
that
wedding.
video probably does exist somewhere in like one of her storage units or something. She sold it. That's how she got it.
She amassed the fortune over the years. Grandma was really friendly with this Filipino guy named Miguel.
Yeah, we always thought it was inheritance, but it was fucking. She sold all these VHSs of us fucking flopping our wangs around. But there was a time period after that where we'd all be like, "Oh, dude, she has a video of us fucking shaking our dicks, dude." Like,
not because
Johnny would be like, "Dude, I'm not inviting your grandma to my wedding, dude. She's gonna embarrass me."
Not because of the fact it's child porn, but because of the fact it's like, "Oh, you're gonna see my little baby dick or whatever."
Yeah, it was just like she's gonna embarrass me in front of my wife.
That's
dude.
fucking hilarious. Like I fully embrace that because I'm gonna do weird shit at my wedding if I ever get fucking married, which I doubt. But I don't know.
I have hope for you.
I don't.
I feel like you're gonna catch a weird one in like your 40s. You're gonna be that guy.
Oh no, I'm just gonna marry a 22-year-old, and then when she turns 30, fucking get a divorce.
A weird one.
That's fucking catching a weird one for sure. I don't know. I gotta do that argument.
There's a weird thing like. Skinny dipping was funny when you were a kid, and then it just got like creepy when you were a teen.
Skinny dipping was great as a teen. Like when I was 19, there was this time my friend.
Nah, but I feel like there was always sexual stuff, like when it's chicks and dudes.
No. Well, okay, so
part of it is.
It was so maybe part of it, but like
But when it's just the bros, when you're 10, you're like, this is just funny, dude. Birds out, we're just laughing.
The right crowd. It was like okay, so me and shout out Spurlock. I don't think he'd mind me telling this. Me and him were hanging out. He had friends. He was living in Philly at the time, and he came down to his parents' house. I think his parents parents were like out of town, so we had to walk their dog. So he's like, I'm only down for like 2 or 3 hours. You want to like roll a blunt and hang out? I'm like, yeah, totally. So while we're smoking, his friends, like they're like these crazy West Philly punk fucking gutter kids that are just hilarious.
I can see that.
They're real fun. Like they were actually a lot of fun. I went to the one kid's house. He spent all of his money buying a bootleg LP and didn't have money to feed himself. So I bought him a bowl of rice. And I was like, come on, get some protein on there or whatever. Like, and I was like really egging him on, like try and get like fried rice or like something with like a little sustenance. He's like, I just want to say this. I'm fucking vegan, and every time I say it in this restaurant, they laugh at me. It's like, oh, because it was like
a real Philly gutter punk thing to be.
It was like West Philly fucking like Chinese food place that like also sold like pot and cheesesteaks.
Oh,
like,
he gay.
Exactly. Like he's just like,
oh, gay boy just went right.
I was like,
we put meat sauce on it anyway.
I was getting egg rolls for the boys like back at the apartment, and like he's like, I was like, come on, like get some. He's like, oh, thank you, man. Like I was like, come on, like fried rice, like get some like chicken or whatever. He's like, I don't want to say
peppers and corn.
He's like
baby corn.
He's like they put like vegan stuff. Like they make fun if you get vegan. I was like, oh, okay, like my bad. But like anyway, that's not the. So
yeah, order it for me, bro.
These kids came down in a minivan at like 11:30 at night, and we're like, we want to go to the beach. And I was like, well, it's not exactly like beach faring hours. They're like, we're just gonna go.
You can't now.
They were just like, yeah, I know, it's fucked up, man.
8 p.m. It's like you can't be on the beach.
Well, we went to Strathmere, so they didn't give a fuck. Yeah, like, but it was me. 2 girls that were, you know, like they're relatively attractive. Like they're not everybody in there. It's like we were all like normal sizes, normal shapes. Like nobody was like abhorrently deformed or anything. But it was like there was no
That's
sexual.
Where I come in.
There's like no sexual tension or anything in there. It's just like we want to go to the beach, and then like we get to the beach, and it's like, all right, so now what?
Forgot my bather.
Well, it's like not even that. They're like, so like, do we go in? And they're like, well, I don't want to be wetting my clothes on the way back to Philly because we're just gonna.
It makes sense.
And they're like, do you guys just want to go skinny dipping? And everybody was like, yeah, pretty much. So like me and like the 3 dudes and Spurlock all just get naked and run into the ocean. And then
were you pecker checking at all?
No,
were you seeing where you sized up amongst the comp?
I mean, it was fucking freezing too. It was fucking freezing.
Turtle
so
shell on the fucking beach.
Didn't even count. But yeah, all the girls, they just got down to their underwear and then like only went into like knee deep. So we're just fucking like
whip those cooters out, ladies.
We're just like fucking frozen birds running out of the fucking water, and they're just like, we're a little cold. We're just gonna go back to the minivan.
They had the nips out though.
No, they were underwear bra, like you know. But like it's like basically,
you guys got cheated, dude.
It wasn't even cheated. It wasn't like a sexual thing. They just wanted to go and get their feet wet, and like I was like, I understand. I'm not gonna pressure girls to get naked or whatever. Like,
no, you gotta.
If it was a different crowd or whatever, it was great though because we all, instead of us like getting dry, like for whatever reason, we just put all our clothes in the minivan.
I'm sure they were dry when they saw a bunch of fucking penises flopping around the water.
We all got naked into the minivan together, which was even funny. We just brought our clothes into the minivan and then got dressed in the minivan together. It was just fucking weird. It was fun.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had fun. I mean, it was a good time.
I chicken palmed a lady in a minivan once.
Hell yeah.
It was horrible.
Really?
Not horrible.
Not horrible.
I mean,
horrible for her.
Yeah, horrible for her.
The biggest prohibitives for me, like these days at least, is like I have no problem getting hard. It's like condoms, fucking, it's just sucking the life out of me.
That's a tough one.
Sucks
for sure.
The fucking
we
life out
all know that I went through my period where I was just.
You had a period?
Yeah.
Last week. So crappy.
No, it was like where I just had horrible performance anxiety. Where I was just like, I'd get in there, I'd be hard as a missile, and then I'd be on the fucking right on the doorstep, and then it was over. I'm fucking It's like when you turn off that wacky inflatable tube, man, in front of the yeah, it's over, and that plagued me for like a year or 2. And I did that to a young lady in my grandpa's minivan. My car was in the shop. I was borrowing my grandpa's minivan. I'm like, dude, perfect. Fold the seats down. Put a blanket in the back of this thing, dude. This is the Econo Lodge on wheels. Like, you can't fucking beat this, dude.
You want to get banged out the Mark III, bitch?
in the game reserve. That's a Toyota Sienna.
My van's got shutters.
They sold the van.
Damn.
It's got my fucking
sex juice.
Nah.
This is me being a piece of shit because she doesn't listen to this, but if she ever does listen to this, she's gonna be like, you're a real piece of shit. But there was a girl I had performance issues with, not like crazy long ago, but it was a condom.
It's the worst.
It was a condom issue. It was like I told her, look, I'll get you Plan B. I'll pull out like whatever you want.
That's what started all of this for me as well. Is I failed with the condom, and then it just got in my head, and then like once it's in your head, it's just
so like
condoms.
She was like
they're gay,
insistent on it, and I'm like, look, like I'm clean. I can tell you I'm clean. Like I
promise.
It's like I've been to the doctor, and
I've been to the dentist. He cleaned me off while I was asleep.
Let me go down on you, hon. But no, I swear it's tartar.
The dentist sucked you off while you're knocked out.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dentist's a nice guy. I went bowling with my dentist the other day, actually.
It's pretty cool.
Well, it wasn't like with him. He was just on the lane next to me. I was like, "What's up, doc?"
That's tough though when you're deflating with the fucking trying to put the bag on.
She kept trying
You're
to
like,
put
come on, we don't need
She
this.
kept trying to put the bag on me too, which I'm like, "Don't do that. You're not gonna get it." And she like first wrong way, and I'm like, "Yeah, already losing fucking steam here because I'm annoyed now."
You just sigh.
Yeah. Then she tried to put it on with her mouth the right way, and I was like, and I'm like, "You are just fucking this up," like, because once it's wet
Now
on the one side,
there's so much tension in the air.
No, it's
she's
not
like,
even tension. It's just wet on the one side, so it's not on the helmet. It's like under the fuck. She's not getting any. No reservoir tip is reserving. It's just stretched way too fucking thin over my helmet, which is now mushed into this much of a condom. And I'm like, ow, this is not nice. Just fucking let me
I had
fucking normal.
a lady back in the day where
all I want to say is I failed 4 fucking times with 4 different fucking condoms, and every time I'm like, if you just let me take the condom off, I'll fuck you regular, and I'll buy you Plan B. I'll get whatever you need. We'll raise the goddamn kid together. I don't care. Just let me fuck you without a condom.
You're that horny.
And it never,
like,
it never fuck. This was like the first fuck I almost had after pandemic. So yeah, I was.
I
that
love
fucking,
you.
So, no, not even that. I just was like,
we'll raise the kid together. It's hilarious. I will ruin my life.
I will throw my fucking whole 30s away and some of my 40s away to let me put it in your fucking rancid twat. But no, she like it just failed. Like I just failed, and then we didn't try. Like we tried every time with a fucking condom, and I was like, she just wouldn't try with that one. So I'm like,
you gotta respect that as the guy. I respect it.
I did respect it, but
if you're looking for a long-term partner, that's the woman you want.
I'm absolutely not looking for a long-term partner.
No,
I was looking to fuck her in a casino, like
an
asshole.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's a classy broad. That's one you could bring home to mom.
Yeah,
like,
that is. But my mom doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
so I don't mind.
You're
Bring her
trying
to
to
the graveyard. Bring her to the graveyard. Be like,
bang her on your mom's grave.
I get weirded out about banging girls and like in the house, like where my family home, like you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to make sure my shit was all right. So I went home for all of 18 hours and then was like, so this still doesn't work. I'm gonna kill myself. And I just went to the fucking strip club. I was right as rain. I was fine. I was perfectly.
It's all mental.
I was perfectly fine.
It really fucks with your psyche though.
And the chick that was like giving me a lap dance too. I told her the situation. And she was like, no, that's a condom. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, actually, I could like check for you if you want. Do you have $500? I'm like, I'm not. No, we're not doing that. But she was like grabbing it and she was like, no, you seem pretty good. Like right now, I was like, yeah, I know. Like
you went to like dick therapy at a stripper. I could have solved 2 years of depression by doing this. I should have done your method because
why did I invite you all the time?
You remember me? I used to like fucking cry the blues to you all the time, but I went through a legit like depression over this because you feel like you're like I'm half a man, like you know what I mean. Someone talked about it on I think it was Shane or someone said that literal line where it's like you fucking
your manhood, you're robbed of your manhood,
dude. It crushes you, dude. But
we're cruising, man.
Word. Yeah, I went through like a legit fucking. I don't know where I was going with that. Fucking ruined my train of thought. Yeah, I should have just done your method. Just fucking go to the strip club and fucking. Oh, I was gonna go in there. I like quit watching porn because of that. Because I was like, dude, it's fucking PIED, dude. It's a legit porn-induced erectile dysfunction. I
think that's bullshit, but I'm not denying it.
I think it can be a thing, but I think more of my issue is just performance anxiety. Like, because I hadn't had sex in a few years, so I was so nervous. And that was the other thing I wanted to mention was like, you were like, oh, we'll raise the kid together or whatever. Like, this one chick. I've only hooked up with like a very limited handful of chicks. I'm not Joey fucking, hundreds over here. Like
I hooked up with like 20 chicks.
I hooked up with like 5. So like I'm like Bert.
Bert
brings it up like at every turn on every podcast. Like, I've only hooked up with 5 chicks. I don't cheat on my wife. He always fucking mentions that on like every podcast. Yeah.
I'm the machine.
Yeah. I've only slept with 5 girls. But
don't leave me, Leanne.
The one she like came in from Colorado or whatever. And she was like
import.
She was a bro. Like she was from here. She moved there. She came back to like visit family or whatever. But she actually got like the depot shot because she got like a birth control shot because like the first time she came out, like I disappointed with a rubber and like I couldn't perform.
Nice.
So she was like, "We'll try it without. Like I know you're clean or whatever." She went to the fucking doctor and like got a fucking shot and like I still failed.
Nutted me, baby.
This girl got a fucking vaccine for me and I still fucking couldn't get the job done.
That's a keeper. Now that's a girl.
Dude, talk about depression.
You want to talk about it?
I was so and then all right. So like this one specific thing. I was at like a concert. It was around this time period. I was at a concert with Stu, and like there was this hot young couple in front of me, and they were like dancing and grinding stuff. And like I'm in my head, I'm like shaking. I'm caffeine, weed, and like just thinking. Being in this headspace is giving me like fucking anxiety. Like
Nice.
I was going through the fucking ringer at this time period, all over something so dumb. Like, oh, I can't fuck. It's like so irrelevant.
No,
but like,
it's
it fucks
relevant.
with your head.
It does.
But there was this hot young couple in front of me at this concert, and I'm like, I'm in my head with this fucking pity party, and I'm like, I bet he could fuck her. Oh, I couldn't even do it. Like I was at my sister Jamie's wedding, and I was going through this, and there was like I was single, and like I was good looking, like I was skinny at the time, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I'm turning some
Still
heads.
good
like,
looking, baby.
there's chicks there that are like, you know what I mean? Well, I'm in a very, committed relationship now, so I don't want to entertain that. But at the time, a single man. But I didn't even approach anyone because I was so like, well, even if I like, end up bringing this chick home, I'm not going to be able to do anything. It hindered my fucking, like I was scared to even go on a date with Tina because it was just like, I'm going to flub this. And then, you know what I mean? Now I'm here with fucking the house and 2 kids, so what are you gonna do?
You end up with the fucking. Well, better like so. I could have ended up down that road. I almost
when I
fucked one of
posted, we were having the baby. Part of me was like, I hope those ladies out there had a disappointer. Like, fucking, see, I can't do it.
I can score even with the keeper, But no,
But yeah, that really hindered me for a while. And kudos to you for just fucking figuring it out right away. Let me go to the titty bar, see if this thing works. I would try and do it on the hub.
2 weeks later, I went to Casey and I was like,
You're fine.
I was like, is this good? She's like, you're great. And I was like, that's fine. Like that's all I needed to hear. That's do you want to fuck with this or no?
Yeah, I'll finish it. Fucking yeah, that's shout out to the limp dick fans.
Well,
there's probably guys who are listening that have never dealt with that, and they're like, "You guys are fucking gay."
Well, it's not that I've never dealt with it. It's just the one time. It's like condoms. Condoms are my biggest.
You used
fucking
to kind of rib me sometimes, and you'd be like, you would be supportive, and then you'd be like, I never have that issue. And then it happened to you like a year ago, and I was like, see, it sucks.
No, it happened in Europe. Europe was the biggest one because it was fucking jet lagged, and but like, dude,
you flew around the world.
I flew
to be on this state. That's a huge buildup.
7,000. It wasn't performance anxiety either. It was legitimately
jet lag.
Once I slept for like the 4 days I needed to, my dick was a fucking church bell.
I feel like subconsciously though there is a big buildup because you were talking to Sonja for like 6 months to a year or whatever, and you're finally there. You guys have talked about this forever. That was the thing with Colorado chick. We talked for like a year, and then she's finally here, and I'm just like
oh no,
it's just like there's so much fucking pressure to fucking.
She blew me within like 4 hours of me landing, and I was right as rain. But then I was like, I am tired, and I just could not. Like, dude, that is the most jet lag I've ever experienced.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, well, it's dude, you're nervous. Shit happens. Like it's
literally
I've been nervous before.
It causes like adrenaline to dump in your veins, and you literally can't get hard with adrenaline in your bloodstream because like. It's the whole explanation you always hear is like, well, if you're running from a lion, like it's like a old instinct thing. It's like your reproduction goes out the window.
Well, that's something that hangs, and it's more.
Yeah,
you do know that, right? That's like
it's
why your
like
shit retracts. Is like it stays warmer because it needs to stay at a certain temperature. Otherwise,
it's like hiding. It's like a turtle, dude.
Well, yeah, it goes in there so that it doesn't get ripped
Safety.
off. It's same. I think it's similar when chicks are in a heightened sense of urgency. They have like a small amount of testosterone that's like in their adrenaline, and it's like it makes their like tits like more like muscular or something like that.
That's cool.
So that they don't fucking sag and get fucking ripped off by something. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it is. I'm not. It might not be testosterone. It's something like that though.
Bodies are freaky.
They are. I want to take a piss real quick.
My notable woman of history is Harriet Tubman. That's just
cooking the ribs for the fucking Underground Railroad.
Well, then when you were talking about the tunnel rats, I was just like, oh, Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
I don't really know much outside of the basic, standard U.S. education about fucking Harriet Tubman. She freed a bunch of the lads.
Lads?
Yeah, they were not lads.
Lads are Latin American.
They're the black lads, but I like saying lads. Shane Gillis is my hero. Are you peeing out front again? I have fucking neighbors everywhere, and this guy Joe just goes pees right in the front of my fucking house. God damn it. I don't know the exact number of slaves that Harriet Tubman freed, but I don't know why I'm struggling so much to think of a notable woman. I feel like that's just because there's so many, like, what do you say? Oh, Taylor Swift? Like, do you go entertainer? Do you go, like, Mother Teresa? There's so many choices here. Do you go, like, fucking Alexis Texas? You made my teenage years great? Who do Who do you fucking I'm saying there's so many lanes. I'm having trouble picking a woman for Women's History Month because it's like, do you go entertainer? Do you go, stop peeing in my front yard. He's actually peeing in my front yard, dude. There's fucking neighbors all over.
Fucking pedophiles? They don't care.
You're not a child. What do you mean they're pedophiles?
That's what I said. They don't care.
No, it's just rude. Can't have your cock out in my front. I live on the side of Route 50. This is like a main road.
I live closer to Route 50 than you.
Yeah, but you pee in like your backyard.
I pee on my front lawn all the time.
You were peeing on your front porch facing out the other day when you were Snapchatting me. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? This guy's a fucking nut. I'll pee out back, like behind my shed, but even then, this guy's just...
I'm one of those guys, I pee.
His shit is just complete. He's walking around with his zipper down, his fucking... Dude, just because I was talking about it being funny running around with your cock out when you're 7, it's a crime at this age. You're a creep. What a creep. Oh, my face hurts from smiling at Joe's penis. We kind of got into the weeds there about boner issues, but it's fine. I don't think I've ever opened up. I've talked to the bros about it. I talked to the Helmet Patrol and like you. That's about it. I remember I was being really like standoffish and like cagey at that time period. And like I knew my mom wanted to be like, what's going on? Like, are you all right? Because I was... No, yeah, that's what's... There was 2 or 3 times where I was so spun out that like I almost cracked and like opened up to my mommy about my boner problems, but like I didn't. But now she's probably listening to this, or my aunt is, and they're probably like, "Ew, dude, what the fuck?" But yeah,
Keep it in your pants.
There was 2 or 3 instances where I was so fucking down and out that I was like, she was being like, "You all right? Like, what's going on?" My dick won't get hard.
You want to hear one that
That's
actually...
got to be the worst thing to hear your 25-year-old living at home son talk about. Like, this limp dick faggot.
Dude, my dad
failure to launch retard.
My dad heard me waning intellectually, like trying to like mentally work it out. I forget who it wasn't you, because you would have laughed at this, but it was like one of those like, I'm having depression like because of social media. It was like during like 2020, 2021, sometime around there before I like got off.
This is my mail,
But yeah, so like there was this ad for this company that it's like a philanthropy, but they sell like swimwear for it's like a shark like philanthropy, like they protect sharks or something like that, and their big thing is whale
For
sharks.
the ocean or something.
Yeah, is that it? Where it's like the
That's
model,
the plastic one.
No, it's not For the Ocean. Then it's just like they make like leggings and like bathing suits that look like the whale shark print, and like the model that they used is this fucking fox, and she's like a professional like
she's a model. So.
She's like I mean, she like did the model because she's like part of the philanthropy, but she's just like literally she works for the institution. It's like she's a part founder of the institution for like whale sharks or whatever. But she's just like a fox, and she's like a professional like solo diver and everything. And it's not like I have any delusions that I am going to meet or even like talk to or interact with this chick in any fucking setting or whatever. But I like figured out who she was because I was like, oh, this institution's cool. I like the ocean. I work in a seafood restaurant. I want to like we have a pretty big thing like with us like the protected fisheries and whatnot. That's like we don't do philanthropy for that, but like we fuck around with the Wetlands Institute and whatnot, and they all tie into we do. It's all copacetic and whatnot. But anyway, the TLDR is I have in my head that this chick is she's gorgeous, and it's like I like what she does. She's beautiful, and there's just something that's
She'll
like
never date me.
No, it's not even that. It was like I just wanted to like know who she is so that if I could see her like on social media or something, or like even in like advertising or something, just be like, hey, that's that chick that does. But then I found her Facebook page, and her fucking profile is a fucking wedding photo, and I'm like, go fuck yourself.
That made you upset?
It's like because
that's
it's like
so irrational.
It is irrational. No, it's
it.
absolutely irrational. It's absolutely
Find a
irrational.
lady you got a crush on. You go on their Facebook and it says in a relationship.
It's not
You're
even,
like, you fucking
It's
whore.
not even like an irrational thing where it's like she's inaccessible like already, like off the bat.
Yeah.
There's but there's like something about that like flaunting it where you're like, it's flaunting to me. it's flaunting to because
she's bragging at.
That's
me.
not even bragging at. It's just I sent you that thing about like how like
that's not flaunting it. That's a totally normal thing.
It's understandable. I'm not saying that it's flaunting it.
Because I have my profile picture is me and Tina. It's just like
you're flaunting that I can never fuck you anymore, you asshole.
She's rubbing it in.
Yeah, she really is.
I was trying to rub one out. Now I'm angry.
I'm thinking about fucking Jake, and I gotta think about fucking Vinny and fucking.
So that's what's spun.
I bet on that.
I
was trying to remember Rocky's name.
I was lost in my own head.
I was trying to say Rocky. I tried to say Rocky, and I said Vinny by accident.
I missed what you said.
Yeah, sorry.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to roll one out. I'm thinking about Vinny, but I meant to say Rocky.
Cut that part out.
Yeah. Sorry, Vinny. Uncle Joe loves you. Not like that.
That's all good.
But no, getting spun out about like just that irrational knee jerk. Like there's no way.
And that's what you brought up to Jay.
And I brought it up to someone else, but Jay like overheard it and was like, "Dude, like take a break from fucking social media if it's getting you that depressed." And I was like, you know what, you're right, and I did. It
does.
It's just it's something where like I know that this person has no malicious intentions by them doing that, and I'm well aware of it. But like
you are one of those. So most people on social media, they do pretty much post a highlight reel, and I feel like you're not that guy on social media. All of your pictures is just like obscure pictures of like you drunk in college.
My last picture on Instagram is literally somebody that pooped on the floor in Harris in the casino floor.
Yeah, there's nothing. Joe's social medias are not highlight reels. They're not
L's, honestly.
It's like a Philly punk. What was that scene you called them? You saw
West Philly, like fucking crust punk.
Crust punk. Yeah. Your social media is like crust punk. It's just like random.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just like
appreciate that.
It's not like that, but you do get this weird thing with like the comparison. It's a subconscious. You're not trying to compare your life, but you'll just click on a person you went to high school with profile, and you're like, you just start like comparing your life to theirs. It's like, oh, they went to fucking Belize. Who the fuck do they think they are? Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's specific.
It's just,
I like it though.
Fuck you. I'll shit on this chick. I don't even give a fuck, dude. Fuck her. She fucked me over when I was in like 9th grade. Haley. I don't even remember her fucking last name. She does like some pyramid scheme coaching bullshit. She lives in like some fucking, I think it's Belize. It's some like, but she's like a meme at this point. She always posts like inspirational content on her page, and she's like, I'm a business owner, and like she lives with some creepy dude with a man bun, and like they drink fucking smoothies and like live in like some third world country, but they're building like a palace in like the mountains. I think it's
third world playground.
I think it's Thailand or something like that. They're in like Belize or it's
Belize and Thailand are two entirely different continents.
All right, I don't know exactly.
Cocaine in Belize.
I don't know. She's in like some Asian fucking place.
Yeah, that's Thailand probably.
I don't know what city it is. I don't remember, but like
Bengal.
Maybe. No, that's like India.
Well, that is India. That's like fucking...
anyway, this chick always posts this doofy fucking inspirational shit. She's like a real crunchy hippie, you know what I'm saying? What were we just talking about? Why am I shitting on this chick?
Living comparatively.
Yeah, well, she's always posting like, we just got massages and like we live in this fucking... Like her house is gorgeous. It's like a fucking palace in the mountains. Like, kudos to her. They're probably making bank, but like their whole thing is just sketchy. Like their whole business is like they coach coaches. Like, so like, you know how coaching is like a scam? Yeah. Well, they coach coaches.
Okay. So they're like the accreditation service, so you can be an accredited like life coach.
Not accredited. It's just like they coach coaches on how to like scale up their business and how to live in abundance. And like they have all these doofy fucking
send me her page because I want to buy.
It's
I
like
totally
Haley.
Buy one of her fucking
her
classes.
name was Haley O'Neill. Was like her full government. That she was a grade below me. And the only reason I'm gonna dunk on her, it's a fucking
dunkums.
I wouldn't say her name before, but like she fucked me over when I was in like 9th grade, and then like so she was like a fucking hot chick, and she was friends with the girl I dated in 8th grade. Now it's 9th grade. We broke up in 8th grade. Whatever. No hard feelings. And she texts me, and like she's like one of the hot popular chicks, and she's just like, hey, are you into me or whatever? And I'm in 9th grade. I'm like, damn, dude, no way, this chick's into me. Like, so I fall for the trap, hook, line, and sinker. And then she's like, I'm with Courtney right now. You're a fucking piece of shit. Courtney's crying. Like, it was a total trap to see if like I would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she fucking suckered me into that hard, and then proceeded to like roast me because I was at the football game with my mom and like my little cousins, and she's like, who the fuck goes to a football game with their mom? Like, you're a fucking loser. Like, she torched me, bro. Like, absolutely destroyed me. And like I had nothing. I was just like, who the fuck are you jerk? Like, I had literally like they got me bad. But like, so yeah, fuck her. Like, I have no problem shitting on her stupid fucking business and her annoying, you know, she's not even the prime example. I don't compare my life to hers at all. It's just like she does live in a fucking mansion in the jungle, but it's like it'll be anyone. It'll be like the Healy's, whose dad owns like a yacht company, and they're just like always posting on like yachts and like just living the life of fucking Riley. And I'm like, I deliver cheeseburgers at 2 a.m. Like I'm a fucking piece of shit. And you got all like, we went to an affluent school, like not Upper Township's not all rich people, but like Ocean City, a lot of the people there live in fucking like $3 million beach houses growing up. Like they come from wealth, and it's just like these people just constantly going on like Euro trips and just fucking like, I went through the safari, like not Disney World, like they went to the fucking, it's mainly like world travels. And like I don't even know why it annoys me, because I don't want to travel. I don't really care. Like money isn't an issue preventing me from traveling. Like it's like I could spend $5 or $10 grand and go visit Italy. I don't fucking want to. Like
Baba da boop.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I want to hang out with Chrissy's friends.
I'm
and do a bunch
jealous
of art
of this
medicine.
chick I haven't talked to in 12 years because she went to Greece. And it's like, I don't want to go to Greece, so why is this fucking annoying me? But like, it's so, they have a better life than me. Like, it's just like, it's usually because they're skinny, they have like nice teeth, and they travel and have like nice things. And I'm like, I have like a nice car, and like I have a house, and like I have I don't want for anything. So I'm like, why does this make me jealous? It's just because they're hot and I'm a fucking fat idiot. Like that's a big part of it.
Well, I think
the gym bros that you went to high school with, and you're like, this guy's fucking J. Lou. He's a fucking personal trainer now. He's fucking yoked.
What's great
and he
is
fucking roasted me in 6th grade. The girl in our class that like he dated, I dated. She dated all the football players throughout the year. She was cool. Shout out to fucking Becky.
Call her the bench.
She's got like 4 baby dads now.
Sweet, dude. She really gets her.
She rules.
Really peaked in high school and kept
She's
that fucking
my age, but
charade
she has
up.
like a 14-year-old dude. She fucking rules, dude. She's solid.
She's a kid.
She's the one who got Greg Hoyle fucking arrested by lying about getting raped.
Fuck her.
She's solid.
Oh man.
Shout out to Becky. Fucking
solid uterus.
We had field
She's
day.
even
Did I tell
walking.
this on here? We had field day. I told this to Tina then. It was the other night. We had field day. We were like the Green Goblins or something, and she's writing Green Goblins on my blank Hanes t-shirt and like in Sharpie or whatever. And Jason Lewis was my buddy. Like I don't have any beefs with Jason. He's cool. And like anyway, she's writing Green Goblins and she's going across my man tit, my little fucking cherubic man tit, and Jason Lewis just from the corner of the class goes, titty, and like everyone starts giggling. My face is hot now. This was 20 years ago. My face is like hot now, reliving it. But the comparison thing is like, he just came up on like the people you may know, and I clicked him, and he's like a personal trainer who went to like Penn State. He's shredded. He's living the fucking dream. All of his pictures are with fucking hot bitches from Penn State. Like I'm like what the fuck? I'm just some fat idiot who like, I did nothing with my 20s. So it's like I just sat at home playing Chell and like getting drunk. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know if it's because I feel like I squandered my youth, or it's just like people who are like in shape, you're like, damn, that guy's killing it. Like, I always make jokes about Tina. I'm like, dude, J. Lou, he's fucking shredded. Like, he's fucking killing it. Like, my mom wouldn't let me be friends with him because he set my fucking phone banner as Stoners for Life.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me.
And then like that ended the bromance. But like we were always cool. We played football together. But like me and J. Lou could have been crushing puss at fucking Penn State if my mom didn't ruin that for me.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, L.
Mom.
I was gonna say the big your face is getting high. Like just the thought of this crossed my mind, and my fucking ears started getting warm.
My face is hot now because I'm name dropping people that like we grew up with. But like you don't have to bleep names. I don't give a fuck. Like fucking, who gives a shit?
All right, so
no one listens to this.
Camaraderie here. Gina Karish. There was this girl that was in my 8th grade. Well, she was in like all through high school. I graduated with her, but in 8th grade she called me out real hard. It was the last day of school in 8th grade, and you're naturally, or excuse me, not 8th grade, 7th grade, and naturally you do nothing, so you go in there.
That's where you air out the beefs too. It's like you're not getting suspended. I got in a fight on the last day of school in 5th grade. Well, shit kind of gets. Everyone's happy, but if there's gonna be some tension, it's like there's no filter.
I think I got the best of this one, but at the moment, like I said, like this crossed my oof. So
this damn, this really got you.
Yeah, so this chick, Gina, so she was like popular, and like it was kind of I'm sorry to fucking use the verbiage, but she was known like a known slut. Like she was like sleeping with kids in high school and shit. And she's in 7th grade.
Damn.
And like
legend.
Developed early and everything. But there was something that like
good for her.
No,
good egg.
Well, she had like a nice body, but like
she was stacked pretty good.
she had
She was a hot 7th grader.
not like a hot 7th, not even hot. Just she had like an old woman's face, like on like a 7th grader's physique.
I know what you're saying.
She had like an older woman's face. So like
Face of like a cougar, and then like
just like I think she grew up in like a smoker household or something like that. Because she just
Mandy
looked
Turner was kind of like that. When we were in 5th grade, she looked like she was like
like
18.
40. Yeah, like, it's like,
she looked like an adult, and I was like, I'm into this.
I just remember I thought she was Native American when we were younger because she like her fucking face was that beat up, and then she like kind of grew a little bit. I was like, oh fuck, like you're just hideous. Like,
Native Americans have beat up faces.
I mean, they're naturally like their faces are a little bit more worn. Like I don't know. It's something.
Apparently, this is quick aside. The natives are suing the Washington Commanders because they want the logo back.
Hell
on
yeah.
They want the logo back on the helmet
I'm
because
loving
that
it.
was Chief Wonton or something. I don't know.
Chief
It was Chief Warhorse or something. I don't remember his
I think
name,
it
but
is
they were like he
Warhorse,
was
yeah.
like a pride. It's not Warhorse. It was something.
Wahoo.
It might actually be that.
Wahoo's the guy that
He's
rode
the
his
Cleveland Indians.
He's the guy that fucking rode his horse off a cliff.
But they want the they want him back on there because they were proud of it, and like they were going to battle every Sunday. This is what like the verbiage said in the article. It's like they were going to battle with him he was like a war leader or something. Like they were going to do battle every Sunday with this guy, and like they were honoring him by like doing it.
By using his namesake
So
and his
there's like apparently like
iconography.
2 or 4 million Native Americans that are like on some like class action lawsuit to like they don't even care about the name change. They want the logo back on the helmet.
Right on.
So back to beat up Gina Muscallum, whatever.
Gina Karish.
Yeah.
So she
R.I.P.
So like she was like sitting at like the end of this table, and it was like we had like still it wasn't like high school yet, so like everybody still sat at like table where you're in like a group of 8 or whatever. We're playing like Go Fish or like Uno or like some card game, and like over like everybody's like, well, over the summer I'm gonna be hanging out with something.
Hags, bro.
I'm going to be hanging out with so-and-so. I'm going to be hanging out with so-and-so.
I'm going to football camp.
I'm going to, it's like,
Always
I'm going
little,
to, I was like,
what are your plans? Oh, we're actually going to Disney World. It's a little brag fest.
Yeah, so I literally didn't even get to open my mouth to do it before I even, like, it just came organically to my spot, and there, Gina goes, Joe's not going to be hanging out with anybody. And like,
oh, what a cunt.
And I'm like, oh, and I just didn't have anything off the fucking top of my head because all I wanted to say was, you look old, but I didn't think that would be funny. But then, like,
it would be funny to you, but you know the reaction you would get from everyone else. He's such a
it wasn't even that. It just wouldn't make any sense when you're like
the chicks there would have fucking turned on you immediately.
I mean, well, like at that age, I was still sensitive to like what women thought. So, yeah, I mean, like obviously,
you're
I
a
was
sweet boy,
a sensitive little fellow. But no, that really
old.
That really fucked me up.
Her.
That really fucked me up. And then like I held my tongue. I didn't say anything, and I just remember people laughing. No, I didn't even take the high road. I just think I sulked about it. Like it was like miserable. But then like in high school,
came home to a nap. That's a post-school nap.
I think I asked my dad.
Room.
I asked my dad to bring me French fries. Played some Time Splitters on PS2. Yeah, it was a bad day, but no,
those could be good days on the back end.
There's usually
those comforts.
Well, like
Time
I said,
Splitters. That's a fun game.
That was a fun game, but
no,
like
your mind off.
Like I said,
Karish.
Well, like I said, like she got by the time we graduated high school, she looked like she literally looked like she was like 40 years old. So I was like, I mean, like I'm as much as I hate fucking my girlfriend, like with her fucking baseball, fucking abused. Fucking vagina.
Jesus, you're gonna leave that in?
Absolutely, dude. Gnarly fucking.
My favorite is when she took a big dump in Stu's dry toilet.
I told someone that the other day. I forget who I told.
Was it her or Katie?
It had to be her.
It was her.
It had to be
ultimate
Vicky.
Pimp Mac Daddy move. Joe shows up with 3 ex-girlfriends.
Vicky was there. Not 3 exes, but no, there weren't even ex-girlfriends. There's my ex, Katie, and Vicky.
Well, you weren't dating Katie, but like, wasn't there
just
like
hooking up with her?
Yeah. So. And then Vicky was a one-off?
Wineland, yeah.
She was a one-off?
No, I never hooked up with her. She's just a friend. Like, she's just a fucking slut I knew.
You brought her with you?
Yeah.
All right. I thought there was 3 chicks there that you dated.
They showed up on their own. And just the one wanted to hook up with me. Actually, 2 of them wanted to hook up with me. And then the other one got mad that I brought my ex home. And she was like, I thought we were going to hang out. I was like, I never expressly promised that at all.
Damn,
and she was like,
Mac Daddy.
She's like,
did you just go with like who sucks dick better? Like,
no, I just went with who was
the less annoying one.
The one that was the most immediate in my vicinity.
Come here.
Literally, come here. And it worked.
She was standing closer to me. Go home.
No, do you have my keys? Yeah. All right, you're driving me. That's literally that was the extent.
Damn, dude.
That was the girl.
You didn't even flip a coin. You were just like, that's how DoorDash sends out orders by proximity. Like she was just the closest to your penis, and you were like, you're coming in with me, sweetheart.
The one was the story of Rich Voss and Jim Norton when they had some chick and they were jerking off, but she was like in the so the chick was where she is, and like their going like that, like try to get her to ski pole them or whatever. And apparently, like Voss was like getting bored with it, so he goes, "Hey, let's flip a coin. Loser's got a fucker." It's like
I laughed out loud when I heard that on the O&A clip.
Favorite one.
That's so good.
That's like the ultimate Mac Daddy one. That, and then the story of him where he's trying to fuck a chick in the bathroom and she had a cat and the cat shit in the litter box, and like Norton's like trying to get a rod and he just hears Voss almost like just dry heaving into the toilet over the cat shit.
My favorite was his, not my favorite, but one of my favorites was his way to get out of paying for a motel is like he would just pull up to one of those motels that'd be like outside the door, and he would start like fooling around with them like in the car, and then he would just get like a blowjob, and instead of like holding off, he would just come in her mouth, and he'd be like, it's getting pretty late. And
no, he would go to the hotel, go into the front lobby, and then just like wait 2 minutes, go back out and be like, "There's no rooms available," and it's like there's no cars in the fucking parking lot. That's why they came here in the first place. It's like, you scumbag.
He just hook up with them in the car and save $50.
My favorite's the guy that he has a joke. And he's like, I used to date this. I used to hook up with this homeless girl. It was great because you could always just drop her off wherever after you're done. We're home.
Anyway, I'm at Magoobies this fucking